Hey everybody, we're on chapter 2. Thank you so much for being a part of the 1026 Club. Today we're going to start breaking down how do you take those goals that I asked you to look at in chapter 1 and how do we turn them into daily actions. I do have some notes on this one because this is going to be a longer video and I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Of course, I really hope that you are doing your course curriculum and reading the book that goes along with all of this because the book, there's a lot more in that because I have the time to sit there and write it. So all of your goals are achievable through daily action. If you tell me, Zach, I want to buy a Learjet, I want a G5, I want a $5 million house, whatever it is, all of your goals are achievable through daily action. There is nothing that the billionaires of this world do that you can't do. They've got the same 24 hours in a day that you do, but oftentimes those people are just much more structured with their time. How many times have you gone to bed and you go, I feel like I didn't get anything accomplished today. Gosh, I feel like I feel like today was a waste. We run into that all the time with real estate agents. The reason being is because they have no structure. They're running around like a chicken with their head cut off, but they're not actually doing anything to truly be productive. And so what I want to talk to you about first is a time action versus a money action. Okay? A time action. Okay, if I want to get huge and buff and ripped, that's a time action. Okay, I'm going to have to go to the gym. I'm going to have to really work out and put in the time to gain that muscle. Right now, I mean, it's money too because I'm going to have to buy a ton of food. But it's a time action because I really have to put in the time. If you want to grow a relationship with somebody, it can be money. You can buy them some gifts, but you're really going to have to put in the time to get to know that person, right? So that's time action. Money action. You want to buy a Lamborghini? That's a monetary goal. You need the money to buy it, but you got to put in the time to get there. Everything comes back to time action because you must put in the time to achieve the money. Now, can you go buy a lotto ticket and win 10 million bucks? Sure, absolutely. Right? Very little time requirement for that. Ton of money. But what are the odds? Very, very low. You know, everybody wants to walk into a grocery store, buy a ticket, win 10 million bucks. But they've got the ability to make $10 million a year. They just have to choose to do it. There's a saying that I love, and if you have wants in life, you're never going to achieve them. Because until your wants become your needs, they're just going to be a dream. Until you say to yourself, I need success, not I want success, I need success, you're not necessarily going to achieve it. Okay, so what I want to talk to you today is about actionable steps about how your daily actions meet your goals. Okay, so prime example, you say to me, hey Zach, I want to buy an investment property. Okay, cool. So we'll say that you need at least 10% down to buy an investment property if it's a second home or a vacation home. And so we'll say that your price point is $400,000. Okay, so you're looking to buy one. You know that now you need to save $40,000. Well, if you're making say $50,000, $60,000 a year, right? And you've got $5,000 left over at the end of the year because your expenses are $55,000. Okay, that means that to save that $40,000, it's going to take you 8 years. Okay, but what is saving $40,000? Really, what you're doing is you're saving like 14, 15 bucks a day. Now that sounds a little bit more manageable, saying I need to save $15 every day, versus saying, oh, I need to save $40,000. And so when you start going to swipe that card at Starbucks, and you're like, you know what? Maybe I should make coffee at home. Or you're like, oh, I'll stop at McDonald's. Hey, you know what? Let me just make some food at home. You start looking at, wow, I can save $14 a day very easily by not spending money on stuff that I don't need. And so then instead of swiping that card at Starbucks or swiping that card at McDonald's, you transfer that money into a savings account. It's daily actions like that that can have profound results on your life. How do we turn this into a real estate question? So if you say to me, hey Zach, I want to sell 100 houses a year. Okay, cool, awesome, that's totally doable. If your daily actions meet that goal. Now, if your daily actions are the actions of somebody that sells 10 houses a year and you're not willing to change those actions, then how are you going to get to the daily actions of somebody that sells 100 houses a year? 100 houses a year is basically one every like 3 point something days that you would be closing. You need to close a house every 3 days to sell 100 a year, right? Or a lot of people, their goal is 24 houses. I hear that all the time. My goal is 24 houses a year. Okay, that's 2 a month. That's one closing every 2 weeks. But where are those deals going to come from? Okay, What I need you to do now is take those goals that you came up with. Let's talk about just real estate. I need you to take that number that you came up with, the monetary number. Now I need you to look at the average price point in your area. Okay, if you say I want to make $200,000, but your average price point is $70,000, it's going to take a few more houses for you to make $200,000. But if you're selling houses in Southern California and your average price point is $500,000, it's a lot easier to sell few houses, but there's also more competition in Southern California. And so what you need to start doing is take those goals that you have. Okay, you came up with a monetary goal, and I want you to break that down by month. How much money do you need to make every single month? Okay, then I need you to take the average price point of a home in your area. So if it's $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, whatever, and I want you to multiply that by 0.025. What that represents is a 2.5% commission. Okay, so on a $10,000 or on a $400,000 house times 0.25 is $10,000. So if your average price point is $400,000 and you say you want to make $200,000, that means that you need to sell 20 houses a year, right? It's all math. Okay. Now we're going to look at the business model that you chose. You chose from one of the 7 business models: the open house, GeoFarm, social farm, online lead gen, cold calling, content creation, or SOI. Well, what I want you to do is start thinking, okay, how many people do I need to talk to in my business type to get one deal? Okay, if it's internet leads, right? Internet leads close between 3 to 5% per 100, right? But it's not going to be immediate. So if you tell me that, okay, well, I want to sell 20 houses a year, okay, that means that you need to generate 2,000 internet leads, right? And so when you start looking at the math, you start going, okay, if I need to generate that many leads, I need to generate 3 leads a day to get this, this, this. Everything is math. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work on your daily schedule. So you have your goals, you've got your numbers, and feel free to pause the video at any time. If some of this stuff, if you need to work it out, pause the video, come back, just mark your spot up where you're at. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about mornings. Because outside of business, we all have other needs. We need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to, shower, hopefully. There's other stuff. We got to take care of kids, we got to do this, we got to do that. Everything is achievable, though, simply by creating a daily schedule. Most people fail because they fail to plan, right? The old saying, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Okay, so what I want you to start doing is scheduling out your day. So we have your goals. You know that you need to talk to 15 people a day, right? You need to hold 4 open houses a week. You need to talk to 27 people online every single day, whatever it is, based on the math. So what you're going to do now is you're going to look at your daily schedule. Okay, what time are you going to wake up in the morning? Now, maybe you're a person that likes to stay up till 2 in the morning and not get up till 10. That's fine. Whatever your daily schedule looks like, you need to adjust it. Okay, for me, I get up at 5 a.m. I go to the gym at 5. I get home, make breakfast, feed the dogs, do all that kind of stuff, right? And so what time are you going to get up? Now, I will implore you to do this. Please start making your bed in the morning. The reason being is when you make your bed, you start your day off with a task completed. When I was in the Air Force, I had to make my bed every single day because we're starting our day off with a task completed. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel organized. There's a great book. I highly recommend it called Make Your Bed. So start by whatever time you're going to get up. Okay, now I want your schedule to be very detailed. What do you do in the first 5 minutes that you get up? Personally, I drink a glass of water, I brush my teeth, and then I start, getting ready for the gym, attempting not to wake up my wife. So you're going to start really scheduling out your morning. So what tasks must get done? Okay, need to brush teeth, need to let out the dogs, need to make food, need to go to the gym, I need to shower, I need to make sure my clothes are ready, this, that, and the other thing, right? So start looking at those tasks of what needs to get done every morning. Multitasking is a lie. We're going to talk about that later. Do not attempt to multitask. Simply focus on the task at hand. Okay, so if you're making breakfast, make breakfast. Making breakfast with this hand and feeding a baby with this hand is not conducive. Feed the baby, get them moved on, make breakfast. Do what you need to do to get the task at hand done. What other things need to get done? Okay, kids need to get dropped off at school, right? Make sure you're giving yourself enough time to give yourself 15 minutes, 20 minutes, right? Add in for traffic. While you're driving your kids to school, don't work. Talk to your kids. Okay, talk to your kids on the drive to school. Work and wait. Okay, get your kids to school. Okay, at that point, you're getting to the office. You're doing what you need to get done. I can't tell you what your daily schedule needs to look like because I don't know your life. Okay, but if you create a structured daily schedule every single day, include family time, include those other goals. Maybe you've got family goals, religious goals, whatever it may be. Those need to be worked in. but you need to break down whatever you want and add it to a calendar and stick to that calendar. You should never wake up in the morning and say, I don't know what I have going on today, because you should already know, because your life is structured. Great book called The Slight Edge. He talks about in that book the monotony of success, that success is not necessarily fun, that it's not exciting, because you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. But doing the same thing over and over again allows these results to compound and for you to have that success that you've always dreamed about having. Okay? So I went through a leadership training a long time ago. One thing they talk about in that leadership training is when you were on your deathbed. And what I want you to ask yourself is, what do you want your life to mean? Because when you're on your deathbed and, or you're in your coffin and people are coming to your funeral, do you want them to say about you, oh man, they look so peaceful and rested. They look so they look great. Like they lived a well-rested life. They slept a lot and they look very peaceful. Or do you want them to say, oh man, they look used up. They used their life. They used that body. Goodness gracious. They lived a life worth living. What kind of life do you want? It's a great movie called Secondhand Lions. It talks about going out with your boots on. At the end of your life, what do you want it to be worth? What do you want it to mean? What legacy are you going to leave? It all starts with day. It all starts with conquering your day. So this is what I ask all of you to do. Let's take those goals. Let's write them down. I challenge you, like David Goggins does, write them on your bathroom mirror, big and bold in a grease pen. Because you're going to have to look at those goals every single day. I cannot hold you more accountable than you're willing to hold yourself. So let's write those goals down. Write them on your bathroom mirror. Write them on Post-it notes. Write them everywhere to constantly remind you that you need to be achieving your goals. You must create a daily schedule, though. That's the main thing. That daily schedule will allow you to hit your goals if you stick to it. I talk to people all the time. They're like, I need a new plan. I need a new plan. And I'm like, you didn't follow the plan that you had last year. You don't need a new plan. Go back to that one because you didn't do it anyway. We lie to ourselves constantly. And we say, this is my year. I'm going to do it this year. When we know darn well we're not going to. Why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we allow ourselves to become complacent in our lives? Stick to your schedule, create a schedule, and stick to it. Because if you stick to the schedule that you've created, and that schedule, and you've broken the math down, and that schedule supports your goals, you'll hit your goals. It's that simple, okay? So get on it. Let's break those goals down into daily actions. If you need help, reach out inside of the Facebook group, and we will absolutely help you do it, because I know this is a lot. I know this is kind of a deep chapter. So let's get on it. Let's get those goals. I appreciate all of you being a part of the 1026 Club. If you have questions, let us know. Have a great day.